Today is 21st December 2019, practically 1:30 a.m. in the morning. This time we are going to be shooting a video wherein we are going to be sharing our thoughts that how 2020 would be when it comes to jobs. There are many outlooks we have on the internet. Like one of the outlooks we have on the Bloomberg is the US rate outlook 2020. HSBC publishes its investment outlook, which is CIO, investment outlook 2020. UBS published their 2020 outlook. There are multiple outlooks everybody is publishing at the end of this week. Similarly, Treasury Consulting would be publishing at least 5 different outlooks, like the Global Outlook 2020, Indian Economy Outlook 2020, Southeast Asian Economy Outlook 2020, Singapore Economy Outlook 2020, and more importantly, we would be covering about the Jobs Outlook 2020, which no one is covering. Now, when it comes to Jobs Outlook 2020, I feel that in 2020 definitely a lot of people don't like this video, but it doesn't make a difference. The reason is that we are not a paid media company, so we don't bother, to be honest. We feel that in 2020 several million jobs will go across all sectors. It is banking sector, it is IT sector, ITES sector, manufacturing sector, pharmaceutical sector, or you name. Several million jobs will go in 2020. So basically 2020 will definitely be not be a job including year, rather it would be a job excluding year. I personally feel that the biggest hit in the jobs happen only in 3 segments. So one, in order of total number of jobs that would go, one is definitely the banking. I see that at least 2 million jobs will go only in banking in 2020, and several thousands of that will not come in the public domain. Well, when it comes to banking job, which I see as the first thing is that banking jobs will go only because banking is moving towards technology, and that is a fact. So let's take an example of wealth management. Now there was a time when wealth management was being done by the people, those who are approved investment managers. Either could be from Reserve Bank of India or could be by Monetary Authority of Singapore or any respective national central bank. But now the scene is, and which is very clear, the scene is that today it is moving towards robo. I don't know how many been to Singapore FinTech Festival, but if you've been, you would have get to know that robo advisory, is picking up at a very faster pace. Like if I'm not wrong, UOB, United Overseas Bank was there and they were pushing their robo advisory. And they were saying that the minimum quantum is roughly $500,000, $500,000, which anyone can afford, to be honest. I see that the automation will take a lot of jobs in banking. Front office piece would be taken over by the robos, or the bots. Could be chatbot. I don't see that front office would be taken over by chatbot in 2020, but definitely information bot will surely take up their role in 2020. So predominantly I see that in 2020 a lot of jobs will go in the front office, while majority of the middle office, which is also known as regulatory office, will also move towards technology. There are many different apps and applications which is also known as RegTech, regulatory technology applications, which are coming in public domain. Although having said that, I am having deep interpretation issue as far as these applications are concerned. But still I feel that they would take not less than thousands of jobs in the banking sector. So basically the front office and the middle office piece will start moving towards automation. When it comes to the back end piece, it has already gone. UBS has already said that 2024 something would be the last year for back office. And I also feel that in the next another 2 to 3 years, the back office would completely erase from the banking map. Rather, I feel that only one place in the banking where 2020 you get the job is the risk space. Just like in another 3 to 4 years, Basel 3, FRTB, Fundamental Review of the Trading Book, now we have Incoterms applicable 2020, we have MS 610 October 2021 and multiple stuff. They all are coming, and henceforth we need people who can do the quantitative attitude. But having said that, this quantitative attitude won't be easy. You need the skills for that. So when I see banking sector, I see that jobs will definitely go. And I really don't think people are ready for that. We will discuss this in the second part of our video. When I see the manufacturing, I'm damn sure that RPA, robotics will take up a lot of job from Amazon till HP. Everyone is moving towards robotics. The e-commerce players are spending thousands or maybe millions of dollars to move towards robotics, and Amazon is a perfect example in that regards. Having said that, Amazon is testing, I would say the drones also. In fact, they have already tested, to be honest, whereby they can take the material from one place, the package from one place to another. So no courier boy is required. So Amazon Prime, so just get, maybe in 2020 somebody in US will order something, and within 10 minutes he'll go to his his roof, and he will get that packet without any courier boy. This might be the Amazon Prime. More importantly, I also feel that in basically manufacturing sector, manufacturing will also reduce. The matter of the fact is that, like, if you look at China is completely moving towards automation. I don't remember the data rightly, but the company Foxconn, who produces Apple phones in Vietnam and in China, they are investing heavily in robotics. In fact, if I'm not remember, I take an indemnification, I might be incorrect here, that around 1/3 of the Apple phone is done using robotics. Around 1/3 is done using robotics. Robotics is slowly picking up at very fast, and it is turning out to be a matter of subject. Artificial intelligence will definitely take over. I hope you are on LinkedIn and you would have watched the Boston Dynamics. The Boston Dynamics, the kind of product which they are launching, it looks like probably humans will be out of this earth and the whole earth will be managed by the machines. When it comes to information technology and IT, I definitely see that there are a lot of jobs which will go in ITES sector, and the credit has to go to artificial intelligence. Credit will go to Internet of Things and also the cloud computing. The cloud computing power of all four big boys, AWS, Amazon, Alibaba, Google and Microsoft, they are growing at a much faster pace, and because of this the demand for the back offices will slow down, rather it would go also. Informal sources suggest that information technology enabled services, big player of ITES, are not hiring. Rather, if they are hiring a very small amount of people. So collectively speaking, banking jobs will definitely go, and manufacturing job will surely go, and ITES job will definitely go. IT jobs may stay, I don't know. But the question is what we can do to stop this, how we can make ourselves employable. I would say that 2020 will definitely be a fantastic year for most of the companies, and definitely for Treasury Consulting. Because in 2020, one thing that would sure is that you have to be very alert. You have to be like a hawk, because a lot of things will change in 2020. And more important things that will come in 2020 is the knowledge in the banking sector. With due respect, and in fact no respect, I feel that CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, no, not Certified Financial Analyst, Chartered Financial Analyst in books, practically Certified Financial Analyst, ACCA, GARP, and all these degrees, CTP, Certified Treasury Professional, all these degrees will go away. Because if you carefully see that in 2020, the corporate, the industry, the banks will require the knowledge which most of the degrees are not teaching. Rather, most of the people are not learning also. So example, there is a lot of action happening on tokenization, digital finance, digital trade finance, ESG. It's happening on EPRA. EPRA is changing the. Do you guys know that EPRA, which is an Australian regulator, Australian prudential regulator, they are changing the Australian banking code. Do you know that? But we are busy in citizenship bill, all these Donald Trump impeachment and all these issues which make no sense. We don't have time to know that Hong Kong issued clear guidelines as far as the fund outflows are concerned, while FINMA issuing the guidelines in banking. And more importantly, now what happened, this is basically EPRA, which is an Australian prudential regulator, they have issued guidelines about the Australian banking code. And not to mention that global FX banking code is still not yet decided. So 2020, there are a lot of regulations that would change in the banking sector. And the very tough part would be if as an individual, you would be able to learn all these changes happening in the banking system. I know it is very tough for me also. Because every day I faced a problem what to learn and what not to learn. You can see that there are so many newspapers around here. Until I read all newspapers, I will not throw away. Except politics. So in 2020, there are a lot of changes will happen in the banking sector. But the changes would happen on techno-functional front, not only on the functional front. So whatever will come out or whatever required by the banking would need the technology part of that, and that would be very interesting. Because the interesting part would be that technological companies worldwide are not ready for that. They are not equipped for that. So in 2020, we need to see how they can be equipped from that. I see that Singapore, Switzerland and Finland, probably one or two countries in Europe will definitely lead the show. But having said that, it's not going to be very easy for them. At the end of this video, I would like to be very clear that in 2020, the degree will definitely ruled out. Most of so-called degree like CFA, GARP, ACCA, MBA, Institute of Chartered Accountant, these degree will hold no value. The reason is the content the banking industry is looking forward. This content will definitely be not provided by these degrees. Now let me give you a simplistic example about arbitration. Now arbitration, all those people, those who are working in a treasury, they in fact do not know that arbitration is a very important thing. Majority of the treasury documents are being signed by the corporate treasurer without even knowing how arbitration works. Where we can end up in an arbitration, because we pass the buck to somebody who is known as the legal department. Because the so-called CFA, CPA and all these degrees do not teach us that arbitration is a very important concept. Do you guys know that in 2020 multiple banks are spending heavily on ESG architecture? I really know any book except the white papers published by the people in the ESG. Don't know any book who talks people about ESG. Can I have one chapter of CFA, Certified Financial Analyst, whereby they will teach you about ESG? Now I see that because of these, the degree part which people are having would go worthless, and the jobs will definitely be going in 2020. To conclude this discussion, if you are a person who really wish to learn something new, who really wish to challenge something new, who really wanted to do something different in your life, who think that I can be a more competent person, I am a more competent person and I can link everything, then 2020 would be a very interesting time. Because what I personally see is that in 2020, one thing that would definitely move forward is the techno-functional part. So what happened till now? Technology is separate, law separate, functional separate. But in 2020 onwards, we will see that technology and functionality will move together. And corporate banks, financial institution, they need people, those who can take technology functional together. In that regards, I see that blotters, pricers, treasury management system, enterprise resource planning systems like SAP and Oracle, JD Edwards and all, MT4, MT5 and multiple, they need the people, those who can manage the show. Having said that, the law will integrate, just like today ISTA, not today, this week ISTA release, that Master Regulatory Reporting Agreement, MRRA. Of course, we definitely have a video in that. I have already downloaded that and I am going to reading line by line about Master Regulatory Reporting Agreement and see what they are talking about. But having said that, 2020 will definitely be an interesting year. To conclude this discussion, I see that 2020 would be a year when the banks, financial institution, hedge funds and all these guys, they need very specific knowledge. Very specific knowledge. They're not looking for a ubiquitous knowledge which everybody do have. They're looking for a very specific knowledge. And one good fact is that very less people we have in this world, those who have very specific knowledge. With this, we thank you very much. You know my mobile number, which is +91 9899242978. You know our fixed income platform, www.fixedincome.global. Treasury Consulting as an organization will never let you down. And because of that, we already started selling the derivative contracts on Amazon. Next week onwards, you would be able to buy derivatives directly from Amazon. The initial product which we launched is $200 and different countries of the globe have different pricing, like India have different pricing, Europe have different pricing and all. But in US it would cost $200. The complete I would say the installation at the on-site would be costing $350,000. Treasury Consulting will assure that by December 2020, we will disrupt one thing in the banking sector apart, because we are already going for banking license in Singapore. Apart from that is the front office. By December 2020, not less than 100 plus videos would be 100 plus derivatives would be live on Amazon, Lazada and other e-commerce website. So rather than going to bank, you can directly buy a derivative contract directly from your mobile, from your Amazon store, and you can have that. I see that 2020 would be definitely be a year for all those people, those who wanted to do something different. It might be challenging, it might be difficult, but I'm damn sure that 2020 would be a very fantastic year for most of the people. And I see that 2020 will take a lot of jobs. If it take 20 jobs, it will give one. But the one job it will give, 2020, it will stay at least for next 25 years. And again, manufacturing, IT or oblique ITES and banking. These would be the three areas that would be badly hit in 2020. And the reason would be consolidation, bankruptcies, wind up, insolvency, huge debt. The list is very long. With this, we thank you very much and have a great time.